Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, back to finish mopping up the headmaster's office after an overzealous spanking in XCOM 2. And yeah, the team, they gave it to the Berserker Queen last episode like a closeted Victorian headmaster at an all-boys boarding school just outside of Yorkshire. There were paddles and dropped breeches and switches and swollen, bare, welt-marked asses pretty much everywhere. It was such a furious paddling that I'm gonna have to tell my assistant, Mrs. Smythe, to make absolutely certain that I'm not disturbed for the next half hour while I adjudicate the permanent records of the young scalawags and ne'er-do-wells attending this fine institution. I say, Mrs. Smythe, make certain that no one comes in my office for the next half hour, and if you hear any sweaty grunting sounds, please ignore them. It's just me dusting the paddles. Thank you. Anyway, Berserker Queen is not down because she did manage to escape, but we reduced her to a catastrophically low health total before she escaped the map. And all we got left to do now is just mop up the mess. So, you know, it's going to be nothing but tissue papers and discarded boxer shorts everywhere. Why does the headmaster get a paddle bare asses? I don't know, it just seems like the kind of thing that they would have pulled off back in Victorian times. Been a headmaster back there who'd have been like totally closeted, because at the time, you know, it was illegal to be a homosexual in Great Britain. You got kind of a Oscar Wilde sort of thing working. Be like, oh, these young scalawags, they just they have no sense of compunction, I tell you. It's the kind of thing you would say. This headmaster, this hypothetical spanking headmaster. And it's not to say these boys didn't deserve it, because I'm sure they did. You know, they get up to all kinds of shenanigans and whatnot. And they deserve a quality spanking or two. Not gonna lie, the headmaster was definitely not overstepping a line, but it also, you know, just because they deserved it doesn't necessarily mean that the headmaster didn't really also enjoy it. But hey, you know what they say, you love your work, you know, love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That's the old headmaster's motto. Indeed it is, Pete, indeed it is. Love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. Why, my mother used to say that regularly. So we're just getting the team into position here. We do have still some baddies up and above waiting. We're going to try and pull them, I think, with probably a squad sight shot from Jamie Lee Curtis, assuming we can get one. We do have to be a little careful with how we move, because I do not want to activate this Archon on the enemy turn. And this move is also safe.
Whatever you say.
I can see the part of that headmaster actually being ably played by Morgan Freeman. It's just, I don't know if Morgan Freeman can do a British accent at this point. I think he's too invested in being Morgan Freeman to try and pull off a British accent. Yes, I simply have the one dulcet tone, Pete. I can't really modulate my voice any longer. But honestly, when you've got pipes like Morgan Freeman, why in the name of God would you ever want to sound like anyone else? So, big whiff there, but we still managed to get 2 damage out of Boom Boom. Why does that guy only have 4 health? Oh, because we shot him and took 2 of it away, that's why. Okay, well, that makes more sense, but still not total sense. Sylvester Stallone, if we bring you over here, are you going to activate any of the enemies that we don't want activated? Because I'm probably going to have you go for a skull mine. I don't see any particular drawbacks. All right, let's have you come over here, stand in this full cover. Give me the mine, baby. Go for the stick and move.
Stick and move. Pretty much exactly what Sylvester Stallone does. All I gotta say, that guy pretty good moves on himself right there. Try to stick him. Well, just, like Apollo Creed, man. You just can't touch the ball. Dodging like mad. Fortunately, I still got this here plasma rifle now, just to go ahead and shoot him in the face.
Also, should you not have a plasma rifle, Stallone? I thought I left you with an SMG. Probably an oversight on my part. Curtis. We could have Jamie Lee Curtis go for the Advent Engineer. Do we have anybody else who can take out this Advent Engineer without sacrificing too much from an offensive standpoint? William Shatner could hit him with a guaranteed hit shot. You know what? I don't hate that plan. Is this is gonna... Yeah, that activates the avatar, so we don't want to be there. You know what? Just get him with the hail bullets, Willie Shatz. This is fine. This shot cannot miss, and it's guaranteed going to do at least 5 damage. It does chew through a ton of ammo, but hey, at this point, what's ammo? We got all the turns in the world, baby. Morgan Freeman? Overwatching. I mean, we got Mrs. Smythe outside watching a door. We got all the time in the world. We can do whatever we want in this office for like the next 40 minutes. We're cool. Everybody has a plasma weapon. It seems like they got auto-upgraded to plasma, even the guys we didn't necessarily want upgraded to plasma. Although, that does explain why we've got such a low foot speed on Betty White. I was expecting for a Shinobi, I was expecting her to be considerably faster than she turned out to be. But it's actually not Betty White at fault here. It's me for giving him the wrong weapon. One could make the case that it's not necessarily a wrong weapon, since it is a vast improvement over our previous weapon. Stallone, you know, we're probably not going to need you. Let's go ahead and have Jamie Lee Curtis see what she can do here. Now, don't hunker down, Jamie Lee. Precision shot is still only an 80% to hit here after studying our weapon. And I'm still going to take it. All right, Curtis, what do you got? Give me poke some of this Archon. Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis with the big crit, 9 damage. You'd be like, that doesn't really sound like a big crit. Well, remember, Jamie Lee Curtis does not have plasma weapons yet. Jamie Lee Curtis is still rocking the old garden variety goop. So one of those guys is probably going to get Freemaned. Hey, Betty White. If we have you go hit that Archon, 1, what kind of shot have you got at it? And 2, how much damage you going to do? Can't even get up there, actually. Well, that's exceedingly disappointing. Alright, well then what we should do, I guess, is try and conserve Betty White's concealment. But that kind of puts it in a situation where Betty White may not be able to get even a single kill on this whole mission. I don't know whether I'm comfortable with that or not. You know what? No, Betty White, you need a kill. We need kills for Betty White. She's got to fill in for Bruce Willis while he's, you know, convalescing from his unfortunate encounter with the Viper King, shall we say. We can't hit him from that? Alright, well, this is 8 to 10. Betty White is not going to get a kill here, but her concealment at this point, I think, maybe has overlived its usefulness. Didn't get a kill, but we did get the stun from the Ion round. I'll take it. Stallone, I think we'll just have you come finish up our Viperous friend. Even though you don't really need kills, but it's just, this is something you can't manage to fuck up. Alternatively, you could just shoot him in the head for 11 damage, and Betty White then is going to grab us another Illyrium core and a superior autoloader, which is quite nice. I'm probably not going to use autoloaders, though, now that I think about it. And yeah, I know, I mean, I was talking earlier, well, not this episode, but last episode, Armed to the Teeth is on the table. They really open up a lot of like weapon combinations that you wouldn't ordinarily consider when Armed to the Teeth is available. It really does open things up quite a bit, but even so, I'm not a fan of autoloaders because there is no situation where you can choose to use a free reload or not. There is a mod for that. I'm aware of it. It's not a mod that I'm running. I think it's actually one of the best mods, and one I specifically said this is a mod that should exist. Let's focus fire this guy. I'm curious whether this ability, you know, focus fire is just fucking terrible. It gave us an extra 4 to hit him. 4. Is that why Harrison Ford still managed to pull the death blow? It could be the 4% that swung it, but honestly, rather than having a 4% increased chance to hit, we'd have been better off to just have Harrison Ford shoot twice. Mathematically, it's vastly superior to take 2 shots at the roughly 4% lower than it is to get the bonus. It says it also gives armor-piercing bonuses, but I'm not really sure how that applies. I kind of think that Focus Fire is maybe just a bad ability. And from what I've seen so far of the old leader pack that Longmore Studios has developed, it seems like the right options for leader just take every passive ability. If the ability is passive, it's good and you want it. If it's not passive, it's going to be very situational. We're just going to shut this turret down.
We could use this. Oh, I don't know, Peter, man. We can take control of that. We can use it against our enemies. Maybe take advantage of it. I don't know. There's got to be some kind of...
No, just shut it down. I don't want to increase its aim and defense stats and having one of our own team get shot by it. We'll just shut it down, and then we'll kill it, and then we won't have to worry about it. Morgan Freeman, I don't really want to have you go anywhere or do anything. Jamie Lee Curtis does not have a shot at the turret because she doesn't have line of sight. Well, that's bad. All right, move up here. We could just have somebody go throw a friggin' grenade at that turret. Hey, you know what? This is a chance for Betty White to get herself a kill. You have a grenade still, right, Betty? Betty does, in fact, have a grenade. All right, Betty.
Moving on target location.
It's time for you to earn your keep by completely fucking us. Well, I wouldn't really say you've earned your keep here, Betty White. I'm glad we shut that turret down. So, what can we get out of Betty White instead? We could ever go hack, slash, and probably murder one of those guys. It's not the worst pod activation we've ever had, but it's definitely suboptimal. What can we do with a chain shot here? No, you know, area suppression is actually not a bad idea. Are we going to wind up suppressing everybody? How many guys would we suppress with that? Definitely 2, possibly 3. Is that a full suppression? Are we getting this guy? We are not getting that guy, but we are getting the robot. You know, that's an idea that has some merit to it, I think. But also, the chain shot on the heavy mech is like maybe just a straight up kill. Sigourney Boom Boom. Oh, well, let's just do this. You know what? Let's make things a little bit easier and make sure we get the suppression by bringing in Sigourney Boom Boom Weaver and doing a little boom boom. Do a little of the boom boom doom doom that Sigourney do so well. You guys clustered up, and I gotta say, you done fucked up. Here come the boom! Here come the boom! Yeah. That was not as much boom as I was anticipating, I'm gonna be fully honest. I was expecting perhaps slightly more boom. And here's another time where the passive abilities probably would have been better. I'm thinking Oscar Mike would have been really good in this situation, and I didn't use it because I just didn't think about it. William Shatner can't miss. William Shatner has blue screen rounds, and that's probably a dead robot. 9 damage, 2 points of shred, and there you go. 1 dead robot. Got dropped through the floor, too, because, you know, Willie Shatz is all about adding insult to injury. Advent Hunter drone, 8 to 10. What if we go for the walking fire shot here? Not a kill, that's what. But it would apply poison, and it can't miss. It's intriguing. We also have options. So, Betty White, what if we have you throw a knife? Not at that guy. Really, you're only 66 to hit that drone? That's terrible. No. Well, then we should have you throw your axe at this Advent officer because it's got a reasonable shot for a kill. Betty White gets it done! She was, you know, I can't remember what the fictional county Rose Nyland lived in Golden Girls, but whatever the name of that county was, that also was not a kill? That was not a kill. Shit. I had thought that would be a kill. So then, now I think the time is right for suppression. Is there any way we can suppress all of these guys? Are you suppressed? You're suppressed. Are you suppressed? It looks like that guy is suppressed. Let's go for the area suppression here. This gives these guys a massive 2-hit penalty. Harrison Ford, I think we're going to put you maybe on Overwatch. Oh, we could have you go Shadowfall, though. Nah, it's not going to kill anybody. Gunslinger's not going to be big enough to be useful. No, it's a huge... The cone on Gunslinger is enormous. It's just short. I think we run the risk on the 75% chance for the light him up and see if we can't kill the drone. Harrison Ford stands and delivers. Then we can have Betty White. I would love to have Betty White flesh around this corner. But honestly, I think our better bet is just have Betty White maybe throw this grenade. Can you hit both of them, Betty? Oh, right. You have tiny explosives. Well, they are suppressed. We could kill one. I don't want Betty White getting flanked and murdered, though. Honestly, I think we just have Betty White go move to safety. I don't think these guys are going to be able to hit us with the massive aim penalty that we have given them. Plus, Morgan Freeman is still on the table here. We should have had Betty White go in and kill one and then just followed up with Morgan Freeman. That would have been a smart thing to do, but it turns out I'm not an especially smart man. We can't make it to that guy. Is there any cover over here? Nope, because we foolishly destroyed it with a grenade. Foolishly, Pete? Foolishly? Was it foolish? You know, there's a case to be made. I'm just going to bring Morgan Freeman up to here. This is one of those rare times when I'm just going to let the enemy do what they do because of the suppression. We did not get a shoot at that guy. That's very bad. And we got marked. All right, this guy is not going to get a shot off without a huge penalty or getting shot at, and there was what we needed. Dane Judi Dench puts him in the dirt. Taking a little Advent dirt nap, and Dane Judi Dench with a much-deserved promotion. Our intelligence is just off of the hook here. We have so much intel about these aliens. All right, Betty White, you know what, Betty? You've earned the skill. You earned it. You deserve this. You deserve a break today. You also deserve an Advent head to add to your bedpost. Betty White, I assume, keeps the severed heads of her enemies upon her bedpost. It's just the right storage spot for that kind of thing. It's where you put your trophies, man. Betty White, some people notch the bedposts when they, have a successful rendezvous with the new sexual partner. What does Betty White do? She cuts off heads and hangs them on her bedposts. It's like, people say you gotta have something to hang your hat on. Betty White, I mean, it's a literal hat. Made out of someone's skull. We do still have a turret up there. I keep forgetting that thing is there. We should probably kill it. Can anybody see it? Nope. How come nobody can see the turret suddenly? I mean, it's still up there.
If you say so.
Here, Jamie Lee Curtis, you know what? This is a Jamie Lee Curtis problem. That turret is not where I can throw a grenade at it because suddenly I'm inside the building. This should get it. Yeah, there we go. Nice work, Jamie Lee Curtis. Through that one, that was the old up and under. Jamie Lee Curtis coming at it from the subterranean solution. Oh, that Jamie Lee Curtis. She's an experienced older lady. She knows sometimes you gotta come in from underneath and then, tickle the balls a little bit. She's not afraid to come in underneath with the grenade and give you the old little tickle. Tickle. Oh, yeah. Dane Judi Dench. So this mission's pretty well wrapped up then. That should be the last of the enemies apart from reinforcement pods. And we may take a moment to ambush one of said reinforcement pods if we can find a likely spot. Sigourney Weaver, let's just bring you up here and probably drop you into Overwatch. We've got the whole team right here. Trojan virus? That turret is dead. That must be one particularly virulent Trojan virus if it's, doing work after the thing is already dead. That's a pretty potent virus that can work with dead tissue. Be like, yes, I know the tissue is dead, but still, I am inside and I survive and thrive. Yeah, to infect future generations. Well, we do have to set up an ambush for this little reinforcement pod that's coming in. Should be perfectly fine since we've got a number of troopers in the vicinity who are ready to stand and deliver. Does steady weapon end your turn? It does end your turn. All right. Allow long watch is an ability now. Long watch is an ability now.
Come get some.
Man, okay, so that tier for sharpshooter is straight up garbage then. Long watch is not a passive ability anymore that applies. It's something you actively have to do. That's terrible. It's terrible enough that I'm actually considering respecing it. Why is it that in both versions, I thought that it was one of my hopes actually when I started this campaign is that we would be able to get with the enhanced perk pack and the different soldier breakdowns and whatnot, I thought we might be able to make like a viable sharpshooter build. Because I think sharpshooters in the vanilla XCOM 2, they're bad. They're easily the worst class in XCOM. They are not really good for anything. Stationary sharpshooters are not that useful because you're so often required to move just as part of mission objectives. And they don't do amazing damage even when you're able to employ them on a mission like this where they can stay stationary, sort of fulfill their role. Their damage is still really poor compared to every other class. They do way less than assault, they do way less than grenadiers or heavies or whatever you call them in there, and they still do less than even specialists in many cases. Gunslingers are better from a damage perspective, but they're way more situational and way more difficult to employ. They are better, but they're still, again, worse than every other build of every other class. Morgan Freeman's going to get some close encounters here. Looks like we're getting some popping off in this Overwatch, too. Ooh, the plasma weapons are doing work here. You're dead. You're dead. Morgan Freeman just gunning bitches down. Oh, I feel a little bad for these guys. I don't feel bad. Look at the intel we're getting out of that. And sure, some of the abilities from the leadership panel are straight up just bad. They're just straight up garbage. Like, you know, Oscar Mike, I won't say is garbage, but it's definitely not good. Some of those leader abilities are very suboptimal ways to spend some of your time. But then again, you got ones like Scavenger and Collector, which are straight up amazing. I would prefer to have you get the kill. Is there anybody that can soften that guy up for us? Morgan Freeman, you're within 4 tiles, right? Yeah, that guy's in. Take your free shot here. Mostly just to knock him off Overwatch and soften him up a little bit. Close encounters, that still counts as an action. It doesn't count as a shot. So Morgan Freeman is still on a yellow move. I have confidence Jane Judi Dench is going to mop this man up. 4 damage? Okay, 7 damage on the follow-up is better. We want Jane Judi to start grabbing kills whenever she can. Alright, fine. Sylvester Stallone is on it.
Hey, you know me. Never anybody better to handle heavy exposures than the guy who's been punched in the head 70, 80 times. You're probably definitely like the best person to go be dealing with delicate and viral exposures.
Gonna reload here for the old boom boom and Overwatch. Stallone, you wanna set the charge there? There you go. Plant the X4.
Oh, this is good. Probably I'll go ahead and get out of here now.
So let's just drop the evac zone somewhere convenient. Let's say here. This looks good. Let's put the evac zone right next to the building we're about to demolish. Because I trust Sylvester Stallone's skills as an implosive demolitions expert. He's gonna drop this one with precision. It's gonna be like when they brought down the Sahara in Vegas. It's gonna fall perfectly into one tiny square, and then basically all I have to do is go sweep up the rubble. No way is this thing gonna fall over sideways or fling debris into the street or crush our entire team in a massive deadly ball of falling concrete and sheetrock. Is sheetrock probably what you're worried about collapsing when a building implodes? Probably not. It's probably mostly the concrete and steel and glass, I think, that would be more deadly.
I hope you get like a lot of sheetrock going up. We get some powdered gypsum in there. It's a real breathing hazard, especially if you got like asthma or something like that. You start breathing in powdered gypsum and gets you in the lungs, or white mesothelioma.
Medical advice from the Sage Mesothelioma Prevention Center, sponsored by Sylvester Stallone. Team's evacing. I don't know. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. I'm getting punchy. I'm talking about getting mesothelioma from inhaling particulate and aerosolized gypsum, for crying out loud. This is how you know I got nothing left in the tank immediately. It's empty. I'm running dry. It's all done. The facility has exploded. Pretty good about that mission, actually. We ruined the Berserker Queen. We decimated the facility. Couldn't have executed better. I don't know what we could have done that we didn't do, but apparently we missed an enemy. Probably a turret somewhere. I'm not that worried about missing a kill on one turret. Betty White should wind up with a promotion after this one, I think, as well. Come on, give me back to base. I need to see my promos. I want my accolades. I want my laurels. I'm Caesar coming back into Rome at the head of a victorious centurion. A century? I guess it'd be a Roman century. But yeah, I'm rolling down the streets, and yeah, there's a man behind me whispering, you know, remember that you're immortal and that you will die. He's back there. Respice poste. That's what he's saying. Respice poste. But I still want my laurel leaf laid upon my head. I need it. I need the accolades. Sylvester Stallone made the most attacks. Harrison Ford was the most under fire. Did you ever get shot at, Harrison Ford? You got marked, I guess, and that was it. I don't think we actually got shot at on that mission. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe the Long War perk pack and the toolbox combo isn't maybe a little too good. I'm starting to wonder if 8 soldiers is maybe a little too many. I did go with 8 just because I wanted to try out every class, but honestly, maybe for our next run, we'll take it down and go with 7 as the maximum size, which is just 1 bonus soldier over the minimum, and we can just throw the sharpshooter out the window, because Jamie Lee Curtis isn't exactly doing a lot of heavy lifting around here. And no, it's not an indictment of her physical strength. Just because she's a girl doesn't mean she can't have appropriate levels of upper body strength. I just mean she's kind of shitty at her job. I mean, she's a sniper and she's wearing fucking Coke bottle glasses there. You gotta question the decision on your sniper who's got like uncorrected 2700 vision. Basically, they're legally blind. How'd the promotions come out? Thanks, Bradford. Praise from Caesar himself. I'm making a lot of like Rome references here. Traverse fire, I still don't fully understand. Okay, one more time. After taking a standard shot with your primary with your first action, you may take an additional non-movement action. So with traverse fire, we could shoot and then chain shot, if I'm understanding it correctly. Or we could shoot and then shoot again. That seems... It's like salvo, except for bullets. Interesting. Lockdown... Plus 50 to hit and 50% bonus damage against enemies who attempt to move when suppressed. So that's like a better version of area suppression, or it actually modifies area suppression. You get a huge bonus to hit him and a huge bonus to damage. I kind of like that a lot. That's actually really good. Resilience is good. It's just not something we're going to take. Man, lockdown seems really, really powerful. But so does Traverse Fire. We could really pump out a lot of damage with Traverse Fire. Damage or defense? Damage or defense? You know what? I think we got to split the difference on this one. We often run with Dane Judi Dench and William Shatner, both 2 gunners in the same party. If we have one with Traverse Fire and one with Lockdown, that's a pretty significantly powerful combo, I think. So we got Dane Judi Dench. She has... What's Danger Zone again? Area suppression suppresses enemies in a 6 tile radius, so that makes it bigger. And I like Hail of Bullets. It's good. But you know what? If we're going to go for the lockdown, shouldn't we go for Danger Zone? You know what? Yeah, let's do that. We're going to give Dane Judi Dench Danger Zone and Lockdown. We'll try them out and see which ones we did. Betty White did not get a promotion there. That's unfortunate. You know, Betty White, I got to say, also for a chick who's like 94, your abs are amazing. You're not rocking a 6-pack or anything, but you definitely got like a 2-pack. It's not a 6-pack, but you got like 2 tall boys in a bag there. That's a pretty damn good look for 94. In great shape. So we reduced the Avatar project by 3. Progress on the Avatar project has been delayed by us blowing up a facility down in New Chile. Operation Hellborn Wheel turning out to be anything but Hellborn. And the only wheel involved was the one we ground the aliens beneath into a fine powder, because we wrecked them good. And I had a good one. That was a good way to wrap up this week's session of recording. Not that that means anything to you, but I feel really good about that mission. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. And if you'd like to see more outro interruptions from Bradford talking about how he can restock the bar. Are you really buying liquor at this point, Bradford? I mean, you've got an entire bathtub gin factory down in the basement of the Avenger. Why are you buying liquor? What is it, just like for variety? Be like, well, I can't just drink gin all the time, Pete. Occasionally a man needs a shot of bourbon or some scotch, or, you know, maybe I'm feeling fruity and I just want some peach schnapps and a little bit of orange juice and grenadine. What if I want a fuzzy navel now and then? Is that so wrong? Just because I drink 6.5 gallons of bathtub gin a day doesn't mean I can't appreciate the citrusy goodness of a fuzzy navel. I suppose you're not wrong, Bradford. I'll suppose this episode is over. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.